This is the 3D VIEW-MASTER tale Donald Duck by Walt Disney Picture. Donald Duck in Sky Hammock, VIEW-MASTER Reel 1. Picture 1. Donald Duck was tired and cross, so he sent his nephews off to play, made some cold lemonade and started to put up his new hammock. But it wouldn't fit. This made Donald nearly lose his temper, which was bad. Losing one's temper always makes things worse. Picture 2. Donald should have known too that the two little trees wouldn't hold him. They bent like wet macaroni. He sat down to think. There's always a way to do a thing if you think the problem through calmly, he reminded himself. You have to hand it to Donald. He wasn't a quitter. Picture 3. I've got it. Balloons filled with helium. Donald wasn't a time waster either. He went right to the store for a tank of helium. Back home he filled the balloons with this lighter than air gas and began tying them onto the hammock, which he held down with a big rock. Picture 4. Then he laid down for his hard-earned nap. But unfortunately, Huey, Dewey and Louie returned just as he drifted off to sleep. Would he go higher with more balloons? They wondered. They decided to add several more and find out. Picture 5. It took just 2 more on each end. Then, as the hammock rose gently into the air, Donald awoke. Wah, wah, wah! Donald was so frightened he stuttered, but he didn't panic. He held on tightly, calling to his nephews. Help! Do something! Picture 6. By now, the 3 little ducks were worried. But what to do? Then Dewey remembered something Donald often told them. There's always a way to do a thing if you think it through. Sure enough, after a minute, Louie yelled, Let's climb up on the church and puncture some of the balloons. Picture 7. They put up a ladder and with bows and arrows climbed up. But with part of the balloons gone, the hammock sailed crazily off toward the house. It crashed on the TV antenna, and there Donald hung. The little ducks decided to leave Donald where he was to cool off a while. It's sure nice and cool up there, isn't it, Uncle Donald? Louie asked. Quack, quack, Donald sputtered angrily. VIEW-MASTER Reel 2. Walt Disney's Chip 'n Dale in Flying Saucer Pilots. Picture 1. Donald Duck ran out of patience as quickly as boys and girls ran out of bubble gum. And when he found Chip 'n Dale had broken the cookie jar, he lost all his patience. He grabbed a broom and took after them. Let me read my paper in peace, he said. Picture 2. He didn't get much peace, however. The headlines upset him terribly. The idea of flying saucers really worried him, but it didn't scare Chip 'n Dale. In fact, they decided it would be great fun to make something that would really scare Donald Duck. Picture 3. The 2 chipmunks hurried out to the kitchen, took 2 paper plates without asking, mind you, and headed for Donald's workshop. There, Chip painted one with some of Donald's best silver paint, much of which he spilled on the workbench. As Dale cut a round hole in the top of the other plate, he chuckled. We'll scare the daylights out of Donald Duck with this thing, he predicted happily. Picture 4. It was very hard for them to get the blades up on the roof, but finally they had the flying saucer settled on the drain pipe. Chip glued the blades together while Dale raced down to get their helmets from a new box of cereal. By the time he got back, Chip had the ship ready. They donned their helmets and Dale climbed in. Chip stood with one foot out. They knew Donald would come out soon and check to see if any flying saucers were around. Picture 5. Sure enough, just a few minutes later, Donald came out. "Get ready, Chip," Dale whispered. "Then shove off." Chip pushed off with one foot and with Dale's help climbed in as they sailed down toward Donald. Picture 6. They sailed right past startled Donald Duck's face. As they went by, they both yelled, "We're monks from Mars! Take us to your leader!" Donald gasped with fright and ran into the house to call the newspaper. "Help! Flying saucers have invaded my yacht! Call the police! Send the Marines!" Picture 7. The reporter wasn't impressed. "Look, these paper plates won't make much of a story," he said in disgust. Donald was very unhappy. He had already visualized a picture and story of himself capturing the creatures in their flying saucer. "I saw them, I tell you," he yelled. In the tree above, the two nifty monks from Mars laughed with delight at the way they had fooled Donald. VIEW-MASTER Reel 3, Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge in Donald's gold mine. Picture 1. "I loaned you $1 and you haven't paid it back. You must think I can get along without it forever," Uncle Scrooge growled at his nephew. "But Uncle Scrooge, I only borrowed it 2 days ago," Donald reminded the unreasonable old duck. Picture 2. "Never mind that. Pay it up right now and with interest, or off you go to jail," Uncle Scrooge threatened Donald. His uncle was being very unfair, but there was nothing Donald could do but pay. As he gave the old duck the $1 plus interest, Donald yelled, "I'll get rich and buy you out of skinflint." Picture 3. As Donald rushed angrily off, he saw a newspaper headline which read, "Miner strikes it rich, stumbles on gold mine." His anger drove Donald to immediate action. Quickly he loaded his faithful burro down with supplies and set off into the burning desert to search for gold. Picture 4. In his anger, Donald hadn't thought to get proper directions before setting out, so before long he was completely lost. Suddenly, as he was worriedly looking at a signpost trying to figure out what to do, he heard an odd sound. Psst! He looked down to see a gopher grinning and beckoning to him. Picture 5. When the gopher found out what Donald was looking for, a gold mine, he chattered excitedly. "Follow me," and led Donald through a tunnel which ended at a wall of rotted timbers. "Chop it down and you'll strike it rich," the gopher told anxious Donald. Picture 6. Donald swung the pick with all his might, and soon he crashed through the weak old timbers, tumbling headfirst into treasure. Donald yelled in excitement and dived into the middle of a great stack of coins and bills. "It's mine! My dreams come true!" he cried in greedy ecstasy. Picture 7. But suddenly his dream became a nightmare. In stepped Uncle Scrooge. "You broke into my private fold," the old duck snapped. "It will cost you $100 to have that wall repaired." "Oh no," Donald groaned. "I should have known this much money would belong to the world's greatest miser, Uncle Scrooge."